Okay, so this is adding two fractions together. This left side's way more complex than the right, so we got to add two fractions. So because you're adding fractions, you got to have common denominators to add them. So we're going to take and get the common denominator. 1 minus cosine and 1 plus cosine are both different functions. They're different values. So that means we need to multiply those together. When you multiply those together, that's going to give you the common denominator. So this side over here is missing the 1 plus cosine x. So we're going to multiply it by 1 plus cosine over 1 plus cosine because it's got to be a value of 1. And then this side over here is missing the 1 minus cosine x. So I'm going to FOIL this top part, and I'm going to get 1 plus cosine x plus cosine x plus cosine squared x, and then I got a minus sign. This minus sign stays right here in the middle, but you got to do parentheses because we're going to distribute it to this. So it's going to be 1 minus cosine x minus cosine x plus cosine squared x. Now again, that's FOIL. I'm foiling these two together. Now on the bottom, I've got the common denominator of 1 plus cosine x times 1 minus cosine x. Okay, so on the top, I'm going to distribute this negative sign. So when you distribute it, this becomes a plus, that's a minus, that's a plus, that's a plus, and this is a minus right here. That's a minus cosine squared. So when I add like terms, this one and this negative one cancel. This cosine squared and this negative cosine cancel, and I'm going to have 1 cosine plus 1 cosine plus 1 cosine plus 1 cosine gives me 4 cosine x. And then on the bottom part, I'm going to FOIL these together, and this is going to be, this is a conjugate times a conjugate, so this is 1 minus cosine squared x, which makes this whole thing from the Pythagorean identities, the bottom part is sine squared x. And now I got to break this up because I got to have two answers over here. I want 4 cotangent cosecant. So what that means is I'm going to rewrite this as 4, and then I'm going to have the cosine x here. I'm going to take one of these signs and stick it under this thing. And then I'm going to take the other sign, I'm going to stick it under 1 over sine. Because anytime you take 1 times this anything, it's still that same thing. And then from my quotient rule, this is cotangent x, and oops, not a plus, it's times. Put a dot and then put a plus. So this is cosecant x, and if you look, that right there is the original thing right there in the box. Those are equal, so I am finished, and I'm happy. See you later.